What is good, everybody? Welcome to the bot lane with BBK Dragoon and myself. We were watching some League of Legends gameplay on Twisted Treeline. This is before the beta went live. You see you're playing with Augmented, Singed, Headhunter, Rengar, and we got Mr. Ruin, or you guys know him as Mr. Halo, Ditty playing Katarina. So, Mr. Dragoon, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up? I'm BBK Dragoon. I make Halo videos, but then this scrub, mVito over here, kind of got me into this game called League of Legends.
Just a tiny bit?
Just a little bit, man. Only like a few hundred hours or so, not much, right?
Yeah, right, Alright, so if you guys want to go subscribe to that scrub over there, his link will be in the description below. So, let's get right into it, man. So obviously you kind of just hinted at it, but I introduced you to this game. I was introduced by some of the friends I played on Xbox Live around, I want to say, January of 2011. I played it very casually, and then I recently started playing a little bit more competitively when summer finally came around. So, yeah, why don't you say your full intro to League of Legends?
Right on. So I wasn't even interested in League of Legends. In fact, when you were first trying to get me into this game, I wanted to do everything but play League of Legends because I was super deep into Starcraft 2 at that time. So this summer I didn't have good enough internet to be on Xbox or whatever, so I was just playing a ton of Starcraft 2, getting into that game. But then you're like, dude, you gotta play this game, you gotta try out this League of Legends, it's really sick. So I think it was July this year I started playing it a little bit with you over the summer, and just started playing it more and more over the summer, and really started liking it more and more, to the point where now I play it every freaking day for at least the last 2 months, I'd have to say. And I played it almost daily for the last 4 months, I would have to say, and I don't know, it won the battle. As much as I love SC2, right now I'm just playing a lot of League of Legends because it's just casually super fun, but it has that competitive layer in it that's addictive, dude. I don't know, what do you think?
I really think it hits very, very well with both casual and competitive communities. I mean, it's very hard. I mean, I believe the first game we ever played together, that's when you couldn't Skype. So we just were text chatting, and you were getting frustrated because you had no idea what you were doing. You didn't know what to buy. You didn't know what to buy. You didn't know what to level up. I don't even think you knew what a skill was before I told you. So you were very new to League of Legends. So it's actually funny you mentioned SC2 because that'll go into the next topic. So you play a lot of Starcraft 2. I play on a pretty casual level. I'm probably back in 50 bronze. But how has playing Starcraft improved your game at League of Legends?
It's a good question because Starcraft 2 and League of Legends, from the surface, are night and day different because obviously Starcraft 2 is a 1v1 game. But they are very similar in the sort of mental aspect. And oh my goodness, look at that escape, holy cow. It should be said that Ruin, the Katarina in the game, is our good friend Ditty. He's also a Halo commentator and also plays League of Legends with us. And StarCraft 2 has this whole scene developed around this insane, crazy, deep game, right? The game is insanely deep, and it's one of those things where in Korea, these guys, the pros, play it all day, every day, like a full-time career, just to be able to play at the top level. And this is where the overlap kind of begins, because StarCraft 2, I wouldn't say is easy to get involved in at the casual level. In fact, I'd say it's really hard to play StarCraft 2 casually, but it has a very long, deep learning curve, a game that takes years of playing to get good at. And this is where League of Legends kind of is the end-all be-all masters, because League of Legends has that same depth that a StarCraft 2 does, has this ridiculously long learning curve. But what League does right off the bat that kills StarCraft 2 is the fact that I know girls who play this game, dude. A lot of girls who play this game. The casual community can get involved in this, and flashing in. Are you kidding me? Rengito, you're crushing. The casual side of this game exists, and it's huge, and a ton of people play this game at the casual level, and it's, I don't know, I think it's really rad to see a game developer that's finally figured out this magic. Oh my gosh. You didn't even need my help, bro. Are you kidding?
No, I didn't.
They've developed a game where the casual player excels, as does the player who sits here and plays this game 10 hours a day,
Yeah, right on, man. So we've been playing this game for a few months now. What was it like when you just started out? Because it's really kind of blurry for me on how bad it was when I started out.
I don't remember it like sucking huge, but it was hard for me because at that time I was in Gold League in StarCraft 2 and having some definite success in StarCraft 2, and then to come back over to just begin playing League. It's a steep learning curve. As much as I just yacked about it being casual, you have to know your stuff to be able to play this game and to actually like really enjoy it, if that makes sense, because you were at a much higher level than me. By the time you started inviting me to play, you were already playing ranked. You were already in the ELO, and a level 30 player having to teach a level 1 player how to play this game is like, I don't know how you did it, dude, because I must have made so many stupid decisions and so many stupid gank moves and just fed out my butt too many times to count. But you stuck with me, and that's appreciated. And now that we're both level 30s, dabbling into the ELO, I mean, you're not dabbling in it, you're deep in it. It's really rewarding and really fun. Back in the early days, though, I do remember it was like, Dragoon, here's the champ you're going to play, and you should stick with this champ. And I remember that advice because it helped me huge. Like, I really tried hard to just stick with one champion through the whole level grind. Like, just try and learn one character really well and learn the core mechanics of the game out of that one character rather than, you know, have 6 or 7 characters by the time I hit 30. Now that I am 30, I do have 4 or 5 characters I like to use, but it still all revolves off of that one guy that I learned, which was Singed. So,
Word. Now, you kind of already answered it, but can you go a little bit more into detail how being max level 30 has changed your playstyle now that we've been playing like 3v3s with the new beta and 5v5s into ranked?
Yeah, hopefully, speaking of the new beta Twisted Treeline, that just came out this week, and we played, I don't know, probably about 10 to 15 matches on it in total. It's super good. It's really good. I mean, what do you think of it? Like, pretty good so far?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it might not really stay. I just murdered this Olaf.
Yeah, dude. I think this is... I don't remember what your score is, but you just annihilate in this top lane. You don't even need a gank.
Yeah, I appreciate the compliment. But
like you were saying, the whole level 30 thing, it's interesting now that we're higher levels because the game is played in a completely different way. I have a second account that's like level 6, and to go back and to be playing, you know, the grind from level 1 up to, I hopefully want to get that second account to 30 as well, is crazy for me. To go back and to play lobbies with like people under level 10 is just unbelievable because the game is played so differently. Team comps, nobody understands team comps until like probably level 20. Nobody understands the concept of jungling or even like when the team fight phasing starts and you get out of the laning phase and ganking, and it's so weird because to me and you, these are just basic things. When we're in the picking screen, oh wow, insta-locker, super noob, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But back when you're under level 20, it's a different game, and it's a different game experience, and I don't know, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, because you played with me from level 1 until I got to 30, basically, and I don't want to say I was a feeder, but there's got to be, like, some of those times where you're just wanting to hit your head into the wall, because there's a lot of times in League where the newer player, you can't tell me when to gank. You can't tell me when I need to come up and assist or care for your lane. Those have to be learned, and so I want to know your perspective, because, like, I don't know, on my end, I'm just a scrubby who is trying to learn the game. Oh my gosh, we're coming up on such a clutch play here, by the way.
Yeah, so while we're speaking over this clutch play right here, going, I guess you could say, from a more experienced player, becoming a teacher role is very different than what I'm used to. Usually when I go into like a pub match, it's usually I'm matched up with a lot of level 30s. Usually all of them are level 30, so you don't really need to teach the basics. So what's really second nature to me? Oh, here it is. But what's really second nature to me isn't necessarily that second nature to you yet, and that's just what I, as a teacher, really have to. That is a triple kill.
That's an ace.
That's an ace.
Ace.
But as a teacher, it's frustrating when something second nature to you isn't necessarily second nature to the players you're trying to teach. And I went through that twice. Remember, I went through that with you and Ditty. So there was many times I wanted to pull my hair out, saying, Dragoon, why are you taking tower hits when you have 500 health? You know, why are you doing that? But the thing is, I think with me teaching you guys and you guys finding out a lot of stuff on your own, a lot of our team chemistry between you, me, Ditty, and Mr. Random, you know, it's definitely increased since we've all been playing together. We all kind of know our play styles. We all know, hey, Vito's coming down for a gank from top. Let's kind of push. Oh, hey, Dragoon's coming up to help me with top lane while I died, or if I'm going back to go get an item. You know, it's really all about teamwork. So let's segue right into the next topic of general league tips for the beginners. All those guys who want to start hitting that ladder for League of Legends, all those guys who start at level 1. So before I get into my tips, what tips do you have playing as the monster support you are?
I'm not monstrous, but thank you. I'm trying to learn. My first tip is, honestly, you're only going to learn this game by playing it yourself and by playing it a lot. And that's, you know, it's a team-driven game, of course, but the importance of like solo queuing and the importance of going onto websites and learning builds and learning guides and really watching YouTube videos and seeing how your character is played and how like the pros play your character is critical. That's the only way you're going to learn. Going back to the Starcraft 2 thing, you and I have played Starcraft 2, and I've tried to teach like basic build orders, but I can't teach hotkeys, I can't teach mechanics, and I can't teach micro. All of those things which are at the core of the game have to be learned through playing it. So if a new player wants to get into this game, do it. As much as we've been talking about this steep learning curve, they ease you into it nicely with the leveling system. Try and find some friends who play, but friends in the same skill and the same level area, because it's going to be a huge headache. Like, if I was playing, I remember we played this summer with some of your high ELO friends, and I was only like, I don't know, level 6 or 7, and I felt really bad because I was letting the team down massively, and I didn't even understand the game at that point. So it's frustrating for me, and it was frustrating for the experienced players. So those are my tips. Yours, I'd love to hear. As I die.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you don't ward when everybody's MIA, okay?
Yeah. Some of my tips, I would say, if you're getting right into League of Legends, don't pick a role that's very dependent on killing, to be honest. I never really had someone who told me, hey, you need to you need to play as a tank. You need to, you know, you're probably going to die a lot within your first few matches. So, yeah. Your first few matches, you should really try and figure out the basics of the game, and then that was good on Ditty's part in picking up that kill. I was condemned, but you should really try and figure out the basics before you try going into a high damage output character, because I don't want anyone to take this in a mean way, but if you're playing, let's say, an attack damage carry, or we'll say ADC, if you're playing as that role, everyone is depending on you to get kills. I mean, that's just what your role is. That's usually the role I play. So I never really learned how to become a support or how to play jungle. I was rushed right into an attack damage carry role right away. So I think that's why it's really second nature for me. But like other players, like newer players, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know.
Yeah, it's like the Teemo syndrome. Everybody, when they start, wants to play Teemo because they think he's a monster. But the truth is, you have to know how to play a squishy character who doesn't have any health.
Yeah. Now, in the next, for the last few minutes we have here, so for those people, because you and I are both Halo channels, we go from shooters a lot. We post a lot of shooters. So what was the transition like from a shooter to an RTS like this game or StarCraft 2?
It's definitely a different world, but I'm gonna have to say that I think all shooter fans, because I imagine most of the people who are gonna watch this, like from your channel, Call of Duty and Halo people, and my channel, like Halo people, are gonna take away a lot from this game. This is a very strategy-driven game, and it's so teamwork oriented. And I think that transfers pretty easily into the realms of games like Halo and the games like, I don't know, Call of Duty. More so Halo, but that teamwork aspect is certainly going to help you if you're playing League of Legends and you go back into playing, say, Halo or whatever. I could definitely see improved team chemistry and things like that. The transition is really, it's different, man. I'd never played RTS games until I got into StarCraft this spring and then League of Legends this summer. but I really fell in love with it. And the transition, they're obviously different, but there's things that carry over. That's the shortest answer I can give.
Right on, man. So let's get right into it. StarCraft 2 and League Etiquette. It's a lot different than consoles. You and I both experience this. You know, every time we go into a league game, we all GLHF, and usually, if the team isn't salty, they'll usually GG. So, what's your take on the etiquette between, say, console and say PC?
I'd say I'm a bad example because League of Legends draws out the worst in me a lot of times, and I've got to work on it. Because if we're doing poorly, I have a really hard time not going into the chat and starting to flame or blame things on other opponents or other teammates. And for the most part, you know, I think StarCraft is a very well-mannered community, and I think League of Legends can be a very well-mannered community. But of course, you're going to run into the same things you have in console, which is blaming others, flaming, and getting angry at your teammates. And you know, it's nice to have the good luck, have fun, people typing that, but for the most part, it's quite similar now that I've been playing League and console games quite a bit. Console games, it's a different age group, and sometimes people are a little bit more malicious and trying to, like, seek you out and send you a message saying you suck. But I don't know, the thing I've been trying to take away the last few days is just ignoring all chat, not flaming, not blaming, all that stuff, because there's no point in promoting negativity. If you're going to lose the game, you're going to lose the game regardless if you start flaming others. And I know I'm a bad example of this because Dragoon flames others when he plays League, and I shouldn't. So, oh my gosh. Look at this tower dive.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
We just go in, dude. We just go in. So
well, we're pretty much out of time already, dude. We didn't even get to talk about stream numbers of the world champs or any. I guess that's gonna have to wait for next week, right?
Yeah, that's gonna have to wait for next week. So I hope you guys did enjoy that. It's gonna be a weekly series, probably gonna be on Mondays. That's what I'm thinking. If that's good with you, Dragoon.
That's perfect, man. And if the people watching play League of Legends, please let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to talk, interact, find out, you know, what you're doing, what you like, and all that jazz. So
what
thanks for having me, Vito.
Yeah, thank you, good sir, and I will catch you later.
Later, Gator. Peace.
Peace.